The MonsterVerse is Legendary's shared universe, which positions the secret government agency Monarch at the center of an ecosystem of monsters, or titans as they call them, both new and classic. The latest chapter in this saga, Godzilla vs. Kong, pits not only the two titular titans against each other, but some new monsters as well, including Mechagodzilla. So let's break down every major monster in the MonsterVerse. Now, of course, we're gonna kick it off with the king of monsters himself, Godzilla. Rogue One's Gareth Edwards directed the somber and grim opening chapter to the MonsterVerse with 2014's Godzilla, reintroducing the titular monster to the world. Starring Aaron Taylor Johnson and Bryan Cranston, Godzilla features the Titan emerging from a long slumber to stop two rampaging parasitic monsters from mating. In 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla battled a prehistoric alien titan, Monster Zero, known as King Ghidorah. Now in 2021, he's been pitted against Kong and Mechagodzilla. 12 years after Peter Jackson remade King Kong, Jordan Vogt Roberts' Kong Skull Island serves as the MonsterVerse's Kong reboot. Starring Tom Hiddleston, Samuel L. Jackson, John Goodman, and Brie Larson as members of an expedition filled with soldiers and scientists who travel to a mysterious island in the Pacific, they of course find King Kong himself. In Godzilla vs. Kong, Kong is being held captive by Monarch following the natural superstorm decimation of Skull Island and being forced to lead an expedition to Hollow Earth. First heralded by a fun Kong Skull Island Easter egg, the iconic Mothra is a creature that dates back to 1961 when she starred in her own solo movie before becoming a recurring monster in the Godzilla films. A massive psychic moth who comes with her own tiny translating priestesses/fairies in the original films, Mothra is one of the most powerful beasts in the MonsterVerse. She plays a major role in King of the Monsters, helping Godzilla battle his rivals and ultimately sacrificing her life to give her partner the energy boost he needs. A true ride or die. King Ghidorah is the three-headed cinematic arch-nemesis of both Godzilla and Mothra dating back to 1964. He goes up against Godzilla to prove who is the real king of the monsters, and we have to admit, it's pretty boss that he can attract other titans and bend them to his will. Though Ghidorah is ultimately defeated by a charged-up Godzilla in King of the Monsters, a post-credits sequence shows Charles Dance's Colonel Jonah purchasing one of the beast's severed heads for a nefarious purpose, one that eventually helps create Mechagodzilla. Dating back to 1956, and the third monster entering the fray in King of the Monsters is Rodan, the famous flying kaiju based on the prehistoric Pteranodon. Faster than supersonic jets and able to produce destructive winds and shockwaves with its wings, Rodan definitely has the air and speed advantage in Godzilla King of the Monsters, though Mothra eventually gains the upper hand. Okay, so Godzilla's M.U.T.Os, which stands for Massive Unidentified Terrestrial Organisms, are prehistoric parasites that are drawn to man-made radiation. They wreak havoc on human civilization, trampling anyone and everything in their path. Two unnamed M.U.T.Os, a male and a female pair, appear in 2014's Godzilla, while a second female debuted in the third film, Godzilla King of the Monsters, heeding the clarion call of King Ghidorah. King of the Monsters also phased out the M.U.T.O name, instead referring to any of the massive beasts in the MonsterVerse as Titans. Scavenging Skull Island are pesky pack-hunting predators called Skullcrawlers, a term coined by John C. Reilly's stranded islander Marlowe,
and I call them Skullcrawlers,
who generally make life miserable for both man and beast as an intelligent, burrowing, bulletproof species of crawling carnivore lizard creatures. They come in both frightful airplane size and also towering alpha size like Skull Devil, who killed Kong's parents. Now, we've all heard of Daddy Longlegs, but one of the more memorable scenes from Kong Skull Island involving the perpetually in peril platoon introduces the mammoth Mother Longlegs, a gargantuan spider with lethal limbs that our heroes didn't know they walked under. A flock of these bad boys, the Leafwings, could mean a world of hurt for any team of heroes. On Skull Island, they seemed harmless enough from far away. Close up, however, these heinous beasts attack in groups while also carrying off their prey. Not long after Kong and the Apex expedition led by Dr. Lind discovered Hollow Earth in Godzilla vs. Kong, Kong was attacked by a duo of Warbats, ferocious flying serpents that apparently attack on sight. These nasty winged creatures hung out on the ceiling of the Kong throne room in Hollow Earth, and then went berserk and killed a bunch of fleeing folks when Godzilla blasted a hole through the earth and into the subterranean temple with his atomic breath. The infamous robotic version of Godzilla known as Mechagodzilla is the true villain in Godzilla vs. Kong. Originally the creation of aliens when it debuted in 1974's Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, this version is brought to life by Apex Industries' Walter Simmons. Using the functioning neural pathways from one of Ghidorah's skulls, Mechagodzilla was intended to be a mechanized monster with a human operator at the psionic helm. Of course, Mechagodzilla becomes so powerful that it breaks free of the human pilot and goes on a rampage in Hong Kong. That is, until it goes head-to-head against Godzilla and Kong. So those are every major monster introduced in the MonsterVerse so far. There's still plenty of kaiju to kick around. King of the Monsters reveals that there are 17 known titans to date, and now there's a direct entry into the Hollow Earth, which means more monsters to topple over skyscrapers and mangle monuments. We can't wait. We can't wait to see which other creatures pop up and wreak havoc on humanity. For more on Godzilla, Kong, and the rest of the big boys, check out our review of Godzilla vs. Kong. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe wherever you like to watch IGN.